And let's start in the AFC West, and we are unanimous with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's not off to a great start, though, Lily.
A little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but I have confidence in us, and I do not have confidence in anyone else in the AFC West, but I do have confidence in the Chiefs.
Exactly. Obviously, the Chiefs getting off to a bad start last night, losing to Detroit.
It's hard not to love head coach Dan Campbell and how GM Brad Holmes has put this team together this year. Everyone is calling them the new Detroit Lions. They looked great last night against the Chiefs team who was missing a couple key players, but they still capitalized on moments where they needed to capitalize. And I think new first-round picks, Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell, will be immediate contributors to this team.
Like you said, the Ravens are going to be a good team if they can stay healthy, but Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow. There's a reason he just got paid that money.
Exactly.
That's why they're going to win it.
If Cincy's young secondary takes a step and Orlando Brown is advertised, then the Bengals could go off this season. One of the more perplexing and misunderstood aspects of the National Football League is the definition and enforcement of its fining system. To their credit, both the NFL and the Commissioner Roger Goodell have made efforts to educate the public on the setup structure. A clear fine schedule that includes minimum fines for the first and second offenses of a number of infractions. However, most still remain in the dark on how the system operates. Certainly, at least part of that reality results from the inconsistencies in the fine enforcement from the Commissioner's office. Now, despite the fine schedule, the NFL still fines players different amounts for the same infraction. Most of the fines are self-explanatory, such as roughing the passer, face mask, and the horse collar tackle. Others need a better explanation for why they are being considered in the fine system. For example, socks have been historically the biggest issue, with many offenders either wearing theirs too high or too low. The NFL hasn't been shy in enforcing rules on sock length. Miami Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill said that the NFL fined him $7,000 for not wearing socks during the team's 70-20 win over the Denver Broncos in Week 3. Hill explained why he wasn't wearing any socks, saying, quote, "I was getting an IV and didn't want to be late for the play, so I didn't have time to put on my socks." In 2022, the NFL racked up more than $14.5 million in fines and suspension through 12 weeks, which was nearly double since the 2021 season total of just over $7 million. According to the league, there were 2,468 plays run in Week 1 of the 2023 season, with 32 fines being handed out, which means a total of 1.3% of plays led to a fine. The fines collected are donated to the Professional Athletes Foundation to support leagues in the NFL and the NFL Foundation to further support health, safety, and wellness of athletes across all levels, including youth football and the communities that support the game. As noted on the NFL operations website, since 2011, about $4 million a year has been used to support worthy causes. It is unclear whether the remainder of the money goes considering the league averages for the fines per season far surpasses $4 million. The set fine schedule has made it much easier to understand why a certain amount is being tied to a certain infraction. But the NFL still frequently decides to venture outside that schedule to levy fines upon its players. Such inconsistencies make it difficult to understand the difference between a $21,000 fine for a helmet-to-helmet and another that costs a player up to $41,000. Until these problems are solved and the system becomes more transparent, the NFL will continue to struggle with the perception of its fining process. Back to you, Tyler.